All right, everybody, we back to this one more time. It is the OverDrive 3G, a podcast we started a while back called What Should the Black Man Build? Well, that was part one. This is part two. We're going to see what we can get into today as a solution for black people. All right, let's get that build on. O Drive. Up next, Dame, let it rip. Buddy. Welcome to Sunday's edition of the Maximum Overdrive. I am the Black Knight. I have the Lady Knight with me. You know, love is something that black people are lacking right now. There don't seem to be any compassion anywhere to be found. Some Christian brothers and sisters hit me up in my email and said, "Hey, where's the love for Christians on your show? Do you hate Christians?" No, I don't hate Christians. I don't agree with everything about the Bible, but no, I don't hate Christians. And they say, "Well, are Christians welcome on your show?" Absolutely. You're welcome on this show. You can come up here like everybody else. We don't have a problem with Christians. We do have a problem with certain people, but it's not Christians. So, as a token of a olive branch that we're reaching out, we're starting off today with a little bit of the gospel. So, if the Christian brothers and sisters understand that there's an open invitation for you to come on this show anytime you feel like it. All right, Dame, cue up that I believe. Let's get our Christian sisters shaking and shouting. All right, all right, all right. Thank you for that, Dame. What's going on, everybody? It is the OverDrive. Shout out to everybody who's showing up and who support the E Nation and the Ebony Star Network. This is a solution-based topic that we started about a week ago. Well, almost a week ago now, where we're talking about solutions. You know, the title itself is "What Should the Black Man Build?" Well, some people suggested land, amongst other things. I suggested that the black man needs to focus on building his family because through the family is when you establish strong communities. Now, I will concede to land as well, but we have to acquire land. Now there's land all over this country. And then with the addition of the land, we also have to build the education. Black education is extremely important. We have to educate our children. We cannot leave our children to be educated by white people or foreigners. Understand, nobody loves our children like we do. So why would you leave something or someone that you care about the most in the care of someone else that doesn't have the same kind of love or nearly the same kind of love as you do for that particular person? So it doesn't make sense that we would allow our children to be educated, especially by people who hate us, people who are trying to kill us at every turn, people who are trying to make things tough for us on a daily basis, people who are pulling the rug out from under our feet, people who are hitting us in the back of the head with rocks and shooting us in the back and killing us while we're unarmed. You most certainly don't want to leave the education of your children in their hands. They're not interested in your child's education. They're interested in they're interested in the total domination of your children. Because if they dominate your children as your children grow up and have that mentality of being dominated, they will turn into dominated adults and then they'll be easy to control. So you most definitely want to build Black education. Now, we have Black teachers who are educating foreign children. I think that if you're going to be hardcore Black, if you're going to be hardcore B1, then you shouldn't educate anyone else's children but your own. You shouldn't educate any child from another race other than your own. When you look at, when you go to different countries, okay, they educate their own children. When a foreign child comes into a lot of these schools, they don't really pay too much emphasis on educating that foreign child. And they're most certainly not going to give that foreign child more than what they give their own children. Now, they may attempt to educate that foreign child, but they most certainly will not give that foreign child the same kind of resources that they give their own children. Black people have to be the same way. We have to start giving the resources to our children so they are equipped with what they need to make breakthroughs in this world, to change things. Now, what's the future of our race, our children? So how smart are our children right now versus other children? When you look at it that way, our children are always going to be behind because these schools will make sure that our children stay behind. They will make things tougher for them. They will screw things up for them. They will trick them. They will even lie on them and say that they can't learn and say that there's something wrong with them because they can't stay still, because they're too active. If they're active, then they got ADHD. If they're not too active, then they have Down syndrome or they have special needs. So everywhere you turn, there's going to be a trap set for our children. So why shouldn't the education of your children be extremely important to you? And why leave that to other people? So I think that's something that we definitely have to build. We have to build institutions. Now, those institutions can be in somebody's garage. An institution doesn't have to be some type of government show building or some kind of cathedral, some super giant mega building, some campus that goes on for miles and miles and miles. No, it can start with a garage full of maybe 10 kids, a garage that can hold 10 kids with dedicated teachers, black teachers. It can start there. Who said that a child cannot learn in a small environment? As a matter of fact, our children learn much quicker and much more when they are in an environment with less children, especially when they're in an environment that they are familiar with, like the home. Our children excel in homeschooling. So why not do that? Let's make our homes institutions of learning for our children, institutions of higher learning for our children. We have to start thinking like that. If we want to be serious about our future, we want to be serious about getting out of this hole, then we have to be deadly serious about the education of our children. Why not make our homes institutions of higher learning? Who said that your home cannot be an institution of higher learning? There are several incidents that proves that the black home can most definitely be an institution of higher learning. We've had children who've been homeschooled, who have graduated 4-year universities at the age of 14. Major universities. So who said that the black home cannot be an institution of higher learning? I think that is something that we need to move forward to, especially with this COVID-19 thing. This COVID-19 thing really got me thinking. It's a serious wake-up call, black people. Your children are in jeopardy. Every time we send our children outside the doors of our home, they are in serious jeopardy, especially when you send them to these schools. You got crazy kids doing mass shootings because they've been driven mad by society. Your child is not really learning the things that they should learn. They're set up to fail. Even when they're learning with other white kids, they're set up to fail. So I think that we should definitely be on top of our children's education. And you should be upset with the idea that your child is learning from anyone other than a black person. So, where are our schools? Every black home is a potential school. That's where our schools are. So you got to have that 1-2. You have to have that drive. You have to have that will to make things work. Where are our schools? Every black home is a potential school. It's a potential institution of higher learning. That is where our schools are. Now, don't get so caught up in the European ways. The European ways really don't work for us. Think about it. When we go full European, there's something happens to us. Something happens to us. We either lose our humanity, we go crazy, we lose our mental stability. We lose our mental stability when you go full European. You haven't noticed that? Most black people who are educated in the European ways, there's something wrong with them. They either can't stop talking, they won't let other people talk, their emotions are out of control, they scream a lot, they put people down, they're always insulting other people, they think that they're smarter than everyone else, they're always attacking someone else's intelligence, and they don't think anything's wrong with them. They're narcissists. They don't care about other people. They don't have any compassion. They can give a damn about how somebody else is or how they feel or what they lose or what they gain. Don't give a damn about any of that. All they care about is themselves. Narcissism to the extreme. So this is what's waiting for your child when your child is educated in the European system. They're going to lose somewhere. They're going to lose their humanity. It's going to cost them mental and emotional stability. Sure. You can look at the other podcast the other day on Gangster Talk to see the mental instability and emotional instability of being learned in the European system. I mean, it was on full display on Gangster Talk. Very, very, very narcissistic, very condescending, extremely rude, disrespectful, have no compassion, don't give a damn about anyone else. That's what happens to you when you are in these institutions. These institutions teach you how to become anti-human, how to become anti-life, anti-social, how to become extremely selfish, extremely narcissistic. So we don't need that. We need our children to maintain their mental and emotional stability. This is why I suggest we turn our homes into institutions of higher learning. Give me 1 second. Dane, are you there? Dane.
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Give me a second. I got to go out and come back in. I'm frozen.
Okay. Okay. European system doesn't take into account of different ways people learn. It doesn't even bother trying to find out how this child learned best. You know. So yes, it does not work for our children.
Okay, Dave, get rid of the backdrop.
Okay.
So getting back to what I was saying, right? So our homes are schools. So when we have the conversation, if somebody come in with the conversation, well, where are our schools? Your homes are schools. You don't need some big time campus to educate your children. You don't need that. We have black parents who've already proven that you don't need that at all. They've educated their children in the comforts of their home, and their children have graduated major universities. We can pull up examples and receipts of that, of young black students at the age of 12, 13, or 14 graduating major universities, 4-year universities. I think the most recent took place in Illinois, where a girl was 14 and the brother was 16, and they both graduated a major 4-year university. That's insane. And they were homeschooled in a black home. See, our children excel in those environments. So we definitely have to build the education of our children, and we have to take control of the education of our children and take it out of the hands of foreign people. Foreign people do not have the best interests of our children in their heart. Some of them don't even care about their own children. But if they do care about any children at all, it will be their own. We need to stop concerning ourselves with education from foreigners. Even white people, even European education is foreign to us. That's not our educational system. That's why it hurts us when we go to these institutions of higher learning. We lose our humanity and don't realize it. You see, you can take two black people who grew up from childhood, right? And they can be cool with each other. They can be a certain way. They can love each other, hang out with each other, right? And they're cool. One goes away to an institution of so-called higher learning taught by Europeans. It comes back and all of a sudden it's condescending. All of a sudden it's very critical of the person that they grew up with. All of a sudden it's pointing out things to antagonize. All of a sudden it's telling the person that they're making excuses. all of a sudden it has a loss of compassion. All of a sudden has amnesia about what that person went through as they grew up from childhood. All of a sudden don't have the same kind of compassion for the person that they had before they left. All of a sudden is calling the person a deadbeat or a loser. You see, these things start to happen. It breaks your bond that you have with other black people. And then your excuse is that you're educated. So because you're educated, you can be arrogant, you can look down on other people, you can disparage other people, you can call other people out of their name, you can insult other people's intelligence, and you can put on a display of depleted mental and emotional. I'm sorry, and you can put on a grand display of seriously depleted emotional and mental resources. Seriously, you can get up here and act a damn fool, talk over people, yell at people, scream on people, call people all kinds of idiots because you feel that you're smarter than everyone and that you're educated and there's nothing no one can tell you. So therefore, you should be the only one speaking. This is the type of narcissism that you develop when you go to these European schools of so-called higher learning. You become brainwashed. You become brainwashed and you become anti-life. And you lose your compassion along with a healthy regimen of mental and emotional stability. So why put our children, excuse me. So someone said a long time ago, I can't remember where this came from. It may have been the Bible, but I'm gonna tell you something. It's true. See, I know I've said some things about the Bible before, but I'm not one of those people that believe everything in the Bible isn't true. I do believe some things in the Bible are true. And one of the things I remember it said, "What good is what good is it for a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul?" Well, that's what happens when you go to these institutions, these European institutions of higher learning and learn their Western ways. You gain the world, but you lose your soul. You become anti-human. You no longer care about anyone's feelings. You become extremely narcissistic. People all of a sudden are no longer people because as far as you're concerned, they aren't intelligent. So because you feel that they aren't intelligent, they stop being people in your mind. Now there are just things to you to insult. Things. Now, when we say things, right? Things can mean a lot. Things can be a lot of things. They can be a thing could be a piece of wood. It can be a piece of iron. It can be a rock. It can be a shoe. It can be a car. Now, all of those things I just mentioned, what do they all have in common? They don't have any feelings. A rock, you can't hurt a rock's feelings. You can't hurt the feelings of a piece of iron. You can't hurt the feelings of a piece of wood because it is a thing. It does not have feelings. So when you get educated in these Western European institutions of higher learning, because you think your intellect soars high, your humanity drops low and people become things to you. So in your mind, they can no longer feel. And because you think that way, you let loose with this brutal and verbal onslaught most of the time without giving a damn who you're hurting, who you are affecting. You just simply don't give a shit. And it shows. You come out in the open, you go on these things, and you just simply don't give a shit about other people. And so we don't want our children to become like that. We want our children to maintain their humanity. We want our children to maintain their soul. We want our children to maintain their compassion. So it's up to us to educate our children. So what should the black man be building? Education. The black man and the black woman should work together to build education for our children. Now, where are the schools coming from? The schools are coming from our homes. Each black home is a potential school, is a potential institution of higher learning. These institutions do not have to look like Harvard. They don't have to look like Spelman. They don't have to look like State Teachers College in New Jersey. They don't have to look like LSU in Louisiana. They don't have to look like Boston College. But what they have to do is have the resources to properly teach their children. And that is what they do have. That is what they can acquire. And black people, we have to truly work together as a people, meaning that we have to trust each other and work as a family. If we don't have individual families, well, we have to piece families together to make a whole family. So if you have to merge yourself with your neighbor's family, then y'all merge together to make one big family, right? So if you don't have the capacity in your home to teach your children, but your neighbor does, then y'all need to merge together. And now your child can learn in your neighbor's home, still getting the same care, the love, and the same attention, still being taught by black people. As black people, we don't want our children to be educated by other people, foreign people. We want our children to be educated by black people. Exactly. Exactly in our swirl zone. These institutions, these institutions of higher learning can be black homes. We already have the schools. We don't need to go out and acquire schools. What we need to do is turn our homes into schools. And we have to truly work together as black people. What one family is lacking, the other family can make up for, then let's do that. They broke up the black family. Well, let's start piecing what's left. Let's start fitting them together. If one black family don't have this, but the other black family does, then those two merge together to make one whole family. You don't have to live in the same home, but you can be united in your mentality. And we can get these things done. These aren't things that we cannot do. I don't want to hear about, well, we can't homeschool our kids because the white people won't let us. You start talking like that, then you don't want nothing good for yourself. You don't want nothing good for your children. You don't want anything good for our children. You don't want anything good for black people. We're done and we're tired of black people making excuses to not do something, to tear down what those who want to do something are trying to do. We are tired of that. Now it's about solutions. We are talking about solutions today on the OverDrive 3G. What should the black man build? I said the family, land, and now we're talking about education. Now we haven't talked about land. We're gonna get the land too, but I'm hoping more people come in because I would like to get a crowd up here so we can really get into this and seriously build about getting these solutions done. Right now I'm harping on education. Stop sending your kids to these schools, these foreign schools. A white school is a foreign school. I don't care if it is in America. That is foreign to your children. They don't have nothing to teach your children. You can teach your children mathematics. I learned how to read and write and add and subtract in the home before I even went to school. And when I got to school, I was ahead of the kids in the grade I was supposed to go to. So you can teach your child these things and you can take it to the next level. One second, y'all. Sorry about that. And okay. And so we have plenty of sisters. Now, brothers, don't take this the wrong way. We don't have the luxury of taking things the wrong way. Okay, we have a lot of fighting to do. They're trying to destroy our race, and those who look like us are trying to help them. So we don't have the luxury of taking things personal. Our sisters are better at educating the children than we are, especially when it comes down to English, writing, and stuff like that. The women are cut above the rest. I'm not saying that the brothers can't teach the children anything, but we are good at teaching our children's application, such as the mechanical skills that they need, technical skills. That's where we shine. Okay, science. That's where we shine. Let the sisters teach them the English, the writing, the social stuff. They're excellent at that. Okay, they're excellent at that. So we should have an abundance of black women in these home institutions teaching our children. And if someone has space, see, there's all kinds of things we can do. We go to the community and assess who has space. Okay, can Shaquita accommodate 4 children? She can. Can JoJo and them accommodate 4 children? They can. That's 8 children that we have in 2 homes being homeschooled. We got 8 children. Let's say that we have 20 children in the community. Okay, we got capacity for 8 now. So that's 12 children left. Then we go down the line. Harry, do you have the capacity for some children? Yes. Harry got a big home in the community. Harry can take on 5 children. So we got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Got 13. We got 7 children left. And we keep going to the community until we have no children left to put into homeschooling. They all have been accounted for. Now we have teachers. Who are the teachers in the community? Okay, we get the teachers together. Bobby, can you teach? Well, I only know how to teach math. Okay, Bobby, good. You teach math. Shaquita, what can you do? Well, I can teach English. I can teach. Okay, Shaquita's got to. Whoever can teach whatever, start teaching these children. Start getting them on, set them off on the right path. You can also get kits. They got kits, homeschooling kits. Okay, how much they cost? Say they cost $40, $50, $100, $200, whatever they cost. It's up to the men and the women in that community to make sure we get those homeschooling kits for the people who need them and can use them to teach our children. We have to start working as a team. We do the little things, the big things will fall in place. You understand? Do the little things and the big things will fall in place. Let's stop complaining about, well, they're messing with my child's education. Of course they're messing with your child's education. They don't want your child to be educated. Don't you understand that? Why haven't you understood that by now? Why do black people think white people like black kids? Why do you think that? They haven't shown you any indication that they like your children. What? Because they smile when you come by and see your child? Of course they're supposed to smile. What has given you any indication that white people love black children? I hope somebody can, answer that for me. They don't love our children. You are supposed to love your children. You are supposed to be responsible for your child's education, not put your child's education off on somebody else, especially a foreigner. Yes, whites are foreign. Excuse me. That is a foreign system. And we already talked about what it does to people, right? It turns you into an anti-lifer. It turns you into a separatist amongst your own people, a narcissistic powerhouse, a rambling, yammering narcissist that couldn't give a two shakes of a cat's ass about anyone else. And you've seen that on display. Just listen, don't take my word for it. You've already seen it on display on Gangster Talk. Go back and look at the 10-hour live on Gangster Talk, and you will see it on display. Okay. So let's recap. This is a solution-based show. Let's recap. What do black men need to build? I said family. Now we on land and we're talking about education. Now we haven't talked about land yet. All right, so I'm finishing up on education. Again, our education of our children is extremely important. It is almost the number one thing that we should build, but we need other things first in order to get to that. But after we take care of the land, the education we need to be getting to. Because with our children educated, they can create the other things that we need. They can create the science. They can create the technology. They can create the medical. They can build the hospitals. But we have to get them educated. They can bring in the rest of the things that we need: medical, hospitals, science labs, technology. So they have to be educated. Now, hey, Nisha, now let's move on to land. All right. We need to start acquiring land because there's land. Okay. There is land in your face everywhere. You guys don't think about it. You get your little check, right? You got $40 or $50 extra. You done did some overtime. Some of you may have $100 extra. Take $20 or $30. Okay. Now we're gonna go step by step old school. We're gonna go the piggy bank route. Remember the piggy bank? We're gonna go the piggy bank route on buying some land. Get you a piggy bank if you're so inclined. I don't care what kind of bank it is. It can be a Spider-Man bank, an Incredible Hulk bank, whatever floats your boat. A Superman bank, Miss Piggy bank. I don't give a damn. Get you a damn bank. It can be a cardboard box. It can be an empty can of Pringles, whatever. But get something to save the money. And the reason why I say that because it's a psychological trick on yourself. When you put money somewhere else, then you believe that you're saving it. You believe that it belongs somewhere else, right? You believe that it's important. So you're hiding it from yourself, right? So get your piggy bank, get your check. Understand something, people. This is a process. Now, it depends on how many people you have down with you that will determine how long this process lasts. So for all you talking about, well, we can't do this. We can't do land or whatever. Okay. For you defeatists, we're going to go the old school piggy bank route. So we can deal with this defeatist attitude. Get you a piggy bank. Look at your check. If you're making $800 a week, 1,000 a week, 2,000 a week, whoever, whatever. You ain't even got to put aside a whole lot of money. Handle your business. Take $20, $25, $30, whatever you can spare out of your check every week, and put it in that piggy bank and forget about it. The only time you remember that piggy bank is when you cash your check. That's the only time you remember that piggy bank. And put a note on that piggy bank that says land fund. Land fund. Right? And so put $20, $30 in there. Next week, do the same thing. Next week, do the same thing. Now, tell your boys or your girls what you're doing. Say, hey man, I'm trying to buy some land. Yeah, well, how you doing it? You know, I'm saving up $20, $30 a week. $20, $30 a week. Hey, what that gonna do? You know how much land costs? Yeah, man, but we gotta start somewhere. Why don't you join me? What, you want me to put $20, $30 a week in your piggy bank? Well, no, you can put it in yours. You know, if we both doing it, then that's more money that we're going to get much quicker. You got a point. Okay, I'll do it. Now you got two people saving up money. And tell them exactly how you doing. Hey, man, put land fund on your piggy bank. Your piggy bank. Your Miss Piggy Bank, your Spider-Man bank, your Incredible Hulk bank, whatever. Put land fund on it. So you know the purpose of that bank. So then you got two brothers saving up $20, $30 a week. It's starting to multiply. Now we get a sister involved. She got her little piggy bank. She putting $20, $30 a week. Now we're starting to spread. We're passing the information around. Hey man, all three of us, man, we got this fund going. We're about to buy some land. Now all of a sudden, you sound interesting. There are three of you. See, black people are symbolic, right? There are three of you. So something must be going on. So now the other black person you talk, you see all three of you doing it. Something must be going down. Let me get involved. Now it's four of you with a land fund in your house, $20, $30 a week. Four. You go to another black person. Hey man, all four of us, man, we got this land fund going. We trying to buy some land, man. We know you got to do. Word. Now it's four of you. Now it's five. It's starting to grow. It's starting to grow. Next thing you know, it's 10 of you. Then it's 15 of you. Then it's 25 of you. Then it's 30 of you. Then it's 40 of you. Now all of a sudden, it's not an impossible task anymore. Now you got the money to purchase this land. Now, what you need next is the trust. Now, black folks have failed at this on a large scale, but have been successful on a small scale. So now you got 50 people. You think all 50 black people are going to trust one or two people? Probably not. Probably not. But 10 may trust two. So you take 10 people and you say, hey, I want y'all to purchase this land over here. You guys got the money. Buy this land over here. Buy these many acres. You take the next 10. Buy this many acres. Take the next 10. Buy this many acres. Right? Y'all starting to purchase land in multiple areas. See? You got to make things work for you. You got to turn your weaknesses into strength. Okay, all 50 people can't trust everybody at one time. All right, we break it up into groups. We use that weakness and turn it into a strength. 10 people may trust two. So you take those 10 people, right? And you wash, rinse, and repeat until you have 5 situations the way you've purchased land in multiple places. So now you got 5 times the land. And now the people feel good about themselves because now they see something tangible. Now you don't purchase 5 times the land. Now you can take that and sell that to other black people. You can take pictures of your land. Y'all sitting there taking pictures. You can dress up in your prom dress, your Tennessee tuxedo with tails, smile big cheesecake smiles and shit on your new land. And you can take it, hey man, this is us standing on the land that we just purchased. Damn, dude, why you smiling like that and shit, dog? I mean, like, don't you realize you got teeth is missing? Nah, man, ain't about the teeth is missing, bro. It's the land. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, the land. Yeah, but brother, man, there's too many teeth is missing, man. Why you smiling at the camera like that? You taking it? You taking the emphasis? Hey, man, stop being distracted by my missing teethuses. It's about the land. Oh yeah. Okay. So now, brother is interested. He see tangibles. He see land. All right, this looks interesting. Let me get involved. He may even want to go take a tour on all 5 areas so he can see for himself. So now he's interested. He's talking to other black people. Hey man, we just got this land. We're trying to do something. What land? Let me show you. See, black people need to see things. You have to build it up to where they can see things. Then it's easier for them to make a decision. It's easier for us to make a decision when we can see things. Right? So now you got a coalition of black people building up. Landowners now. Now you're landowners, and that puts you in the game. That gives you a voice and a seat at the table when you become landowners. Hold on one second. Dame?
Yes.
Take over for me real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. Use your piggy bank as your visualization of the land. And hey, keep a lookout. Sometimes land is everywhere. If it's about the land, but don't ignore property with buildings. Sometimes there's houses where they just need some fixing up, or they being neglected because whatever reason or another. But hey, you can always remove the house, keep the land, or fix up the house and keep the land, or move another house onto the land, or a trailer, or RV. But so every time, that's another reason why to write piggyback on land. You won't touch it. You leave it alone. Put it out of your mind till the next time you put some money in it.
Okay, I'm back. Thanks, Dame.
You're welcome.
And yeah, so now you have something tangible to show other black people. Not only do you have something tangible, you are landowners now. You can go to other black people as a landowner and say, hey, we just got this land. So now they can see that it works. So now it's easier to collect other black people because they see something working now. And they see evidence that it's working. So now you can put together this coalition of black people and really get after purchasing land. Now, we're not going to outline everything all in one podcast. this series is going to go on for a while because it's solution based, right? We got several steps to get to, but we got to lay the foundation because we keep talking about solutions. So we got to put them out there, and we got to put them out there in such a way that the naysayers can't say nay, that the ones who are looking for an excuse not to do anything can't use that excuse. For the ones with a defeatist attitude, feel like for once in their life, they can win. You understand? They don't feel defeated. They feel like winners. So that's why we're taking it step by step. We're taking it little by little. We have to hold some people's hands because we're talking about the people who've been traumatized in so many ways, who've been shitted on in so many ways. We don't really trust anything. We don't trust each other. So we have to take baby steps in order to build up that trust. And sometimes the analogies that we use have to go back and be very baby-like and simplistic in nature in order for them to work, in order for them to evolve into something a little bit more organized and complicated, or complicated and organized, right? So now you got a coalition of black people building land. Well, actually acquiring land. We haven't built anything on that land yet. The first thing first, get the land first. Don't try to, you see, another thing that we do as black people, we try to do everything at once. That's how we fail most of the time. That's how we become disparaged most of the time. And we got too much petty problems with each other. Pettiness is destroying us because we got petty black people who have petty beefs with other black people. They won't do certain things. They won't get involved in certain things that can help other black people out simply because they have a petty attitude towards somebody in one group. Ridiculous. And this is why we fail at a lot of things. We got too many petty black people. And so we're not going to focus on them. We're going to focus on the black people that want to advance, black people that want to improve, black people who want to set aside the pettiness. Because that's what it's going to take if you want to succeed. And listen, I'm not putting some program in front of you that's going to take an act of God in order for it to happen. See, we got to be careful with that too. And who we'll listen to. Some people will put a solution in front of you that may sound good. But when you really think about it and you put it together, it'll take an act of God for it to happen. So they're not really giving you a solution at all. All they're doing is occupying your time and keeping you distracted and keeping you believing in fairy tales. No, we want to talk about something that you can actually do right now. You can get your piggy bank, you can get your mayonnaise jar, a shoe box, a Spider-Man, lunch box, whatever, and put $20 or $30 a week in it and set it off to the side. That's not a fairy tale. That is something that is absolutely realistic and something that you can achieve right now. Right now. You can do it today if you want. If you're serious about acquiring land. And if you can't get other black people to go in on it for you right now, to go in on it with you right now, then you keep doing it. Do not abandon your dream. Do not abandon your plan. You keep building that money. Eventually you're going to run into another black person that's going to be of like mind, that is going to join you. You understand? Shout out to Morris Anthony, Yvette, Hassan Burton. So you don't abandon your plan. And do not align yourself with petty people. Petty people can kill your plan because you may need to work with somebody that they have a petty grudge with. And that person that they have a petty grudge with can help close the gap on something very crucial. But y'all can't work together because the person that you're with has a petty grudge against that person, which is going to stop those things from happening. So do not align yourself with petty black people. They are a detriment to us and they demean us. Only align yourselves with black people of like minds. That's what the E Nation is all about. We're looking for black people of like minds who want to build positive relations between black men and black women, and we want to build our nation. We are earthen people. We come from the earth. We are the earthen nation. So this is what we are about. Building with our people, giving out solutions that can happen right now. Not talking about stuff that's going to take 10,000 years to do. Nas World Song, that's what's up. See what I'm talking about? They just bought some land. Yeah, get the land. Hold on to the land, even if you don't know what to do with it yet. Hold on to that land because you may be able to connect with black people that can put something on that land that can be productive. Land is very valuable, people. Once you get it, you hold on to it. Do not relinquish that land until it's. Do not relinquish that land unless you're going to reap maximum benefit. And so we're talking about things that we can do now, not things that's going to happen 10,000 years ago when you're dead and gone. Okay? You can put 20, 30, 40, $50 to the side now. And you can put the side as much as you want. But you need mental discipline. And so the solutions, we're building land, we're acquiring land, and we're building schools. Where did we say our schools are? For those who just came in, for those who are saying, well, where are we going to get these schools? We already have the schools. They're called black homes. They can easily be converted into institutions of higher learning via homeschooling. We have black teachers in the community out of the wazoo. Most black educated black women are eligible teachers. So we have plenty of teachers. We have a lot of educated black women. This is where that can work for us to put us over the top. Our women are the most educated. So our children will be the most educated, the most well taught. See, that's how you have to look at that. That's how you have to make that work for you, right? Our women are the most educated. Then that means our children will be the most educated and the most well taught. So we got plenty of teachers. Now, there'll be some black people that say, well, listen, I need money for my services. All right, I got some currency for your services. How about a bright future for our children? How about a future to where our children don't have to worry about being gunned down by the police? How about a future to where we have black medicine, black science that can help us get rid of ailments that's been brought on by white chemicals or European chemicals? How about medicine that takes us back to our natural diet so we can be strong and healthy? How about technology, black technology, that can improve our situation for the better and advance the entire continent? I'm sorry, the entire world. How about that for currency? How about that? How about seeing the child that you teach grow into a man or a woman and make a serious breakthrough that may save the lives of our grandmothers, our children in the future, of deadly diseases that they said that there were no cure for? How about that for currency? Can that pay your fee? Can that pay your fee? Would you take that as payment? You think about that, right? They said that there's no cure for cancer. What if one of the children that you educate, whether it be male or female, cures cancer? Would you accept that for payment? Are you willing to believe in a dream? This world is about dreams. We dream that our children will surpass us. Well, the only way that they can surpass us is that if we teach them, we give them the best possible education that we can, and we teach them everything that we know. That is the only way our dreams are going to come true, right? Do you believe in a dream? People say dreams aren't real. People say dreams are based in fantasy and not reality. Some people say belief is also based in fantasy and not reality. So according to some people, you can't do anything. You can't dream or believe. If you believe in your children, do you believe that one day they will take care of you? If your young son or young daughter come to you as a young child and say, Mom, Dad, don't worry, I'll take care of you, will you believe them? Would you believe them? You would if you knew that you were going to teach them, if you was going to put in every effort that you possibly can to make sure that they are thoroughly educated. Then that way you would believe, right? But would you believe otherwise? Even if you couldn't put that effort forth. If your child came to you and say, Mom or Dad, or Mom and Dad, one day I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to make things better for you. Or if you're a struggling mother and your son is watching you struggle and he says, Mom, one day I'm going to make things better for you. I'm going to make things better for us. Same thing with a little girl. She's going to make things better. Would you believe her? Would you believe in her? You have to believe in something. They say if you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything. Well, I don't believe that. I believe if you fall for something, it don't have anything to do with belief. But you have to believe in something. You don't accomplish things if you don't believe. If you're only looking at things that are already established, in order for you to do something, then you're not adding to anything. You're not adding to what we already have. You're just regurgitating or replacing what we already have. We're not improving. Belief brings about improvement. Belief makes you go the extra mile. Belief makes you think a little longer. Belief makes you write that extra paper. Belief makes you be a little bit more creative because you believe you can go to a higher state of thinking. Because you believe you can push yourself a little extra. See, it is belief that encourages us to go further. If you believe in something, you'll work hard to make it come into fruition because you believe it. Who said belief is no good? The people who say that belief means nothing are people who have no regard for life. Sometimes belief is all you have, and it's the only thing that carries you to the next day. Without that belief, you may not make it to the next day. And those of you who have been in situations to where the chips were down, you may not have known where your next meal was coming from. You may have been in a situation that looked like it was really bleak. And for the first time in your life, you didn't know what the hell was going to happen. But that little belief, that little inspiration you may have gotten from someone, it may have been your woman, it may have been your mama, it may have been your daddy, it may have been your little child, it may have been something you've seen that put that belief in your mind that everything was going to be all right. It put that belief in your mind to go the extra mile. Sometimes what puts belief in your mind isn't even a word. It's that when you're starving and you don't have nowhere to get a meal, and you look down at that little girl, that's your daughter, and she's hungry, and you look into her eyes, and then you believe that you can go out there and find a way to feed her. She passed that belief on to you with just a look. You look at your children, and you believe that you can go out there and do something to make life better for them. Those who tell you that belief means nothing have no regard for life. There are times that not only belief means something, but depending on what situation you get put in, belief is everything. So, don't you believe that we can't get out of this situation that we're in? Believe that we can, because we most certainly can. But it's going to take hard work. Because even the Bible tells you that faith without works is dead. You can believe, but you have to put effort into making that belief come true. You don't believe that you can feed your children and just sit there and do nothing. You believe that you can feed your children and go out there and find a way. Exactly, bro. Speak. Belief gives you purpose. It gives you that fuel to go the extra mile for your children, for yourself. Those who say that belief means nothing are fools and they have no regard for life. So, the things that I'm telling you that are solution-based can be done, and they can be done now. These aren't things that take 10,000 years to do. You don't have to become a pharaoh or a builder of the pyramids to accomplish these things. You don't have to be King Tut to accomplish these things. You don't have to study the metanetta. You don't have to decipher the metanetta to do these things. You don't have to sit up here and lie about you speak 25 languages and you can barely speak English to accomplish these things. You ever notice that? You got people who can barely read and write telling you that they speak in 2 and 3 languages. Well, damn, I hope you can read and write better than other languages that you're speaking because in English you can't do shit. But anyway, solution based people. That piggy bank, 20, 30, 40, $50 in that piggy bank, land fund, acquire black people. Hey, I got a land fund going. I'm putting and be realistic. You see, one thing about black people, what else about my black people? You can be funny and realistic, and they'll go for it. Yeah, we love funny. Go to them and say, hey, man, I got a land fund going. Yeah, yeah, man, I'm putting money in it every week. Oh, yeah, we know like 5, 10,000. Nah, man, 20 or $30. 20 or $30. What the hell you gonna do 20 or $30? Hey, man, I gotta start somewhere, bro. Yeah, man, but 20, $30 ain't gonna do. Yeah, well, it'll do something if you putting 20 or $30 in your land fund too. Now all of a sudden he stopped talking. See, start off with funny, but then it becomes believable. Oh yeah, it could work, but we're gonna need more people. Hey man, aren't you? You're interested, right? So if you're interested, we can get somebody else interested. You know what? Might be worth a shot. Now you got two people going to another black person instead of one. Hey man, we building a land fund. Yeah. Yeah, man, we putting together money every week. What y'all doing? Putting what, $1,000, $2,000? No, man, $20 a week. 20, $30 a week. What the hell you niggas gonna do with $20 a week? Hey man, we building a land fund. You gotta start somewhere. Yeah, but it's gonna take forever. Not if you get down with us. Funny believe, right? Start off with funny, and then hit it with the reality to make them believe. Hey, if you get down with us, it's not gonna be what you just said. So my thing is, we have to move with what we have. We can do plenty of building with what we have right now. Even with the mentality that we have where we can't stand each other, we swirling, we on that black, we on that dark skin, brown skin, light skin shit. We can still do something even with all of those negatives working against us. Because just because you don't like light skinned people don't mean you can't work with them. White people hate our guts. They're trying to kill us, right? But they'll do business with us. Chinese people can't stand us, but they'll do business with us. Hey, man, I don't like you light skinned motherfuckers, but you know what? Let's get this money. Hey, I don't like you dark skinned motherfuckers, but let's get this money. Yeah, I don't like you brown skinned motherfuckers, but let's get this money. We can get this money. Whether we brown skin, light skin, dark skin, red skin, yellow skin, orange skin, purple skin, we can get this money. Everybody else is doing it. Hell, our enemy hate our fucking guts, but is doing business with us. There should be no reason for anything to hold us back, even with the mentalities that we have right now. Now, let me address something, right? The guys with the fucking um, with the cultural issues, talking about a higher state of consciousness. I'm so sick of this consciousness shit. Y'all have no idea. I'm just sick and tired of non-productive Negroes running around here talking about a higher state of consciousness. They aren't producing a goddamn thing. Have no damn solutions about anything. How the hell are you going to go to a higher state of consciousness when you got race soldiers trying to blow you away? How are you going to a higher state of consciousness when there seems to be a situation where our women and children are being targeted for execution? Don't you think we should pay attention to those things first before we go to a higher state of consciousness? Our women are being murdered along with their children. I don't know how. Okay, if you had power in this country, then I'm down with the higher state of consciousness shit. You got power. You got power. But you have no power. You don't have any land. You don't have nothing. So the higher state of consciousness thing doesn't work. What is your higher state of consciousness going to produce with no power? Do you people understand we have no power? And you're running around here talking about this Justice League shit, higher state of consciousness, this Marvel comic book shit. We have no power. We can't afford to go to a higher state of consciousness right now. We have to deal with the conscious that we have right now, which is a conscious of fear and a conscious of unwilling to do something about these race soldiers and these fools who are targeting our women and children for execution. I don't know if a higher state of consciousness will stop all of that. If it is, where is it? Did the higher state of consciousness stop Sandra Bland from being murdered? Did the higher state of consciousness stop George Floyd from being murdered like a dog in front of the whole world? Did the higher state of consciousness stop those Gestapo tactics that was used on Corinne Gaines, those black op tactics that was used on Corinne Gaines? Where was this higher state of consciousness when they ran down on Corinne Gaines like she was Saddam Hussein or Osama bin Laden? They ran down on her like she was Osama bin Laden. What happened to where was the higher state of consciousness? And I've yet to see this higher state of consciousness produce anything. What is it supposed to do? Now, are you saying it's supposed to calm black people down and get us to talk intelligibly to each other and try to find solutions? Maybe that'll work. But guess what? We don't have that much time. So how about we work on solutions while we're talking about a higher state of consciousness? We can't afford to just get a higher state of consciousness and don't do anything to be productive. Again, we don't own anything. So we don't own anything. So how good is this higher state of consciousness? I'm sick of it. Negroes making excuses to be non-productive. Well, I wouldn't even say making excuses. They're stating their claim to be non-productive with the so-called higher state of consciousness. We are trying to be solution-based here. Okay, Dane,
I'm here.
take over for 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I don't quite get the high stage of consciousness. It implies that you're asleep and that we're all in a low state. Uh, and what you do once you get to the higher state of consciousness? Do you do anything? Do you achieve anything? What? Okay. If it's to get inner peace, okay. Now that you got the inner peace, what you do next? You know, is it a thing to achieve so you can be calm and sleep clearly to do the next thing? What you're supposed to be doing, you know, so you get in a panic about things you want to do. Say, for example, getting land. You're thinking, that's huge. I'm not going to be able to do it. Okay, solution is save some money. Look into some cheap land, you know. Uh, you know, okay, but it's still huge. It's land. You know how high land is? Higher state of consciousness. Okay, I'm cool. I'm going to eat this elephant one bite at a time. So I'm going to set some money aside each week or each month or each paycheck, whatever. But if the high consciousness don't is not to achieve a calmness so you can not let fear block you from doing what you're doing, then it's pointless. At least, or is that meditating? Wouldn't it be easier just to meditate? What's involved in achieving a higher state of consciousness? I don't know. It seems to be a lot of studying. That's a little distracting. It sounds anxiety ridden.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey, hey, I got a question for you.
Hmm.
This higher state of consciousness thing? What you do
Hmm.
after you achieve it?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Do nothing.
You're not
Do
supposed to,
nothing.
use it to jump over some hurdle that's
No,
blocking you from doing something. You're not supposed to calm
absolutely,
your nerve.
absolutely nothing.
You
You
kidding?
do nothing. Yeah.
And people do this on purpose,
Yep.
so they achieve a higher state of consciousness to do nothing.
Nothing.
I rather meditate. At least meditation kind of calms your mind and help you
And
deal
we have to
with fear.
see. Hold on. We have to think. Okay, black people. We have to change the way we think when we're talking about solutions, right? You have to be careful about people who are putting out solutions that that will take an act of God in order for it to come to fruition, or something that takes long periods of time that's designed to break down over time. See, this is how white supremacy works. They get a few people to work with them, and they give these ideas to you that sound great. But when you really think about these ideas, they're designed to break down over a period of time so you don't achieve them. They're designed to occupy your time, to keep you non-productive off of a real solution that you could have accomplished already. So now you're caught up in that solution and you don't put all your time and effort into that solution. And then that solution breaks down because that's what it's designed to do. It's not designed to produce any results. It's designed to lead you on a wild goose chase and distract you and keep your focus so that you don't actually achieve anything. So you have to be very careful about who you listen to about solutions. Because they can dress them up real nice, give them fancy names, but you won't accomplish them because it's going to take a serious act of God to accomplish that solution. That's why we work on solutions that you can do right now, little small things. You got to crawl before you can walk. Small things, things that you can do now. You can start putting aside $20 or $30 right now and keep doing it every week. Even if you don't have the land right now, even if you don't have, even if you don't think that it's going to take, um, even if you think it's going to take a long time to acquire the land, right? You're still building up money. You're still building up money. And as long as you're building up money, there are things that you can do. Say the land thing falls through for you. You got enough money to invest. So it's really a no lose situation. Excuse me, you can either acquire land yourself or you can build enough money up to invest in land with someone. Go in with someone. See, these are things that you can do now. We're talking about things that you can do right now. We're not talking about shit that's going to take 10,000 years to do. Like I said, we're not looking for you to turn into a pharaoh or anything like that. That's right, guns and butter, baby. All right, let me bring in my co-host, Miss Frankie.
All righty. Okay.
I'm at the end of my rant, so what
Okay.
you think about what you heard?
Okay. Yeah, it's a good. I think it's a good thing. Sometimes we just need to start moving forward. Take that first step. It don't matter if it's small. Hey, it's gonna build over time because you adding to it. One step, two step. Next thing you know, you're a mile away, a flight away. You closer to your goal than you were if you weren't putting anything. You know, yeah. And in the meantime, while you saving, look around, look at some land, find out what's involved in getting it. Pay attention to that land for the year or so it takes you to get the money. See how it is. All seasons of the year. Look into, okay, does this land is the city connected to the water, or does it has a well? Yeah, so you could be doing all this while you are saving. Oh, I'm sorry, Max. I end up starting a little rant on my own. Sorry about that.
That's fine. Go ahead.
But yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm like real big about paying attention how the property is all year round. Cause hey, Louisiana, our weather changes, we get flooding, you know. But that don't mean the land ain't good. It just means, okay, if I get this land, okay, it might be a little lower than the street, so I'm gonna have to build it up, before no matter what I do, if I build a house or but in the meantime, you writing down some possibilities of what to do. Okay, this year around such and such, it was like this, and or each season, spring season, I saw a lot of this on this land, or that, or okay, it's raw land. Or I brought raw land. It has what they call it, virgin land that it hadn't been worked on. Okay, so there might not be utilities connected to it. Okay, I can do research, talk to the city, find out, even before I buy the land, you know, okay, how do I get utilities, the city utilities connected to this land? What's all involved? Talk to plumbers, uh, um, people in construction and building and all that other stuff. It, you know, even if you just even if you have no plans whatsoever, it's just like buying the land. Okay, find out is if you buy the land, you have to do something to it. Like there's land I have eye on, I've been having an eye on for years, but it used to have uh, gas pumps. So the wells or whatever that holds the gasoline is still there. So if I buy the land, I am responsible for getting them wells removed, making sure the environment that they didn't spring a leak and do any damage to the environment. And then once they dug up, what do I do with the wells? How am I supposed to dump them at a dump site? And what I'm going to do with that empty space, once the wells are dug up, but that's just me, because I know about that land. I know, but I didn't know that those gasoline wells were still down there. So whatever. So it kind of discouraged me from the land, and then it's gotten overgrown. And so where the dishes used to be is flat,
So Phoenix Gene, what you got to do,
hmm
you can't let those people occupy your mental space. You got to keep moving until you find people of like minds who are going to take you up on your offer. Black people, we can't afford to settle anymore for people who want to make excuses. If they
Yeah,
want to make excuses, keep moving. There are plenty of black people out there who aren't into making excuses.
yeah.
Go past the people and don't let them stop you from running into the people who are willing to work with you on your ideas and your solutions. The more we let people who are making excuses occupy our mind, then that takes us away from the people that we could be getting to that's ready to help us with these solutions. So forget about the excuse makers. Keep it moving. Once you find out that they're making excuses, move away from them quickly because there's a black person out there that's waiting for you that's willing to get busy with the solution.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you cleaned up your circle, Phoenix Jane. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Sometimes well-meaning people get into your head. Sorry if I got into your head, but that was just me and my talk of the property that I was interested in. You know. Um, okay. But hey, also make the connections because the only reason why I knew about the wells and what would happen if I buy the property is because one of a family friend, man went to school with my mom, is a connected
Yeah,
to
dang, we're not gonna.
whispered in my ear. That's it.
Yeah, that dang love to tell stories. Okay. Yeah, we're
Okay.
trying to. Yeah, can't tell a story all the time. We're trying to look for solutions. Okay. Um, we started this podcast because we are about solutions. So, what should the black man build? This is part two. We're going to do a part three. Today, we covered, well, in part one, we covered a lot. We covered family.
hmm
And then that podcast turned into a thing, which was quite entertaining. This one, part two, what should the black man build? Okay, part two, we got land,
And I.
education.
hmm
So give me suggestions on what should part three be about. What solutions we should work on for part three? Anybody in the chat put suggestions in on what should part three be about? What solutions you want to see come to fruition in part three? What do you think black men should build in part three? All right.
I don't know if we got to it yet. Trade skills. If they don't have it, work on those.
Excellent. Excellent. I like that. Trade skills.
Mhm.
I call them nation building skills because no nation gets built without these skills. Mental health and wellness, that's a little bit down the line, Hassan. A little bit down the line. We got to get these other things together first. But that's going to take a lot of the, that's what I mean by the education. That's why the education is so important. Because then we can create the doctors that can deal with the mental health. Going to white people about some mental health, that's insane. Most of them are crazy too. So what are they going to do? Teach you how to be crazy?
Are they
Most of them are out of their mind.
Are the
Huh?
solutions to drug you up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dame has her own show, people. She hasn't done it in a while. It's called Conversations with Lady Dame, to where she lets it rip with all kinds of stories. Okay, so you definitely like the storyteller Dame. That is where you need to be. I
Okay.
keep telling her she needs to fire up her show again. She hasn't did it in a while. But if you like the storytelling Dame, that is the show for you. It's called Conversations with Lady Dame. She hasn't done it in a while, but that's where she really goes ham on stories. That's what the show is all about. It's about her telling stories. So those of you who are fans of Dame the Storyteller, that's where you need to be. Conversations with Lady Dame. Go ahead, Dame.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, especially since we kind of trapped at home. There's a lot of how to do this or that YouTube videos and stuff like that. Maybe instead of, calling the mechanic, I mean, not the mechanic, but that's a good thing too. But no, instead of calling the plumber or the handyman or whatever it is, take a look at YouTube and see what tools you need and try it yourself. You know?
Exactly, Phoenix G. I agree 100%. Black men have to get using their hands. This nation was built with people using their hands. These apartment buildings, these skyscrapers don't get built by people of higher state of consciousness. They get built by people who know how to do brick masonry, welding, plumbing, electricity, architecture, carpentry. That's who they get built by. They don't get built by these fake black swamis running around here with kufis, dashikis, unks, hijabs, talking about some damn higher state of consciousness shit. Negroes like that don't build any damn thing. Hey, listen, you couldn't get them guys together and build a lemonade stand because if you put the stuff in front of them, the materials to build a lemonade stand, it'll never get built because they'll be there all week discussing a higher state of consciousness about each piece of wood and each piece of tools that it takes to build a lemonade stand. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here, brothers. Hey, brothers, I need y'all to build this lemonade stand. Here's the wood, here's the nails, here's the paint and stuff like that. Well, my brother, listen, is it really paint or did the man tell you it was paint? You see, you have to look at things on a higher level of consciousness. You see, it's been told to you that that is paint, but that's what your lower self understands because the white man appeals to your lower self. Now, if you was on a higher state of consciousness, you won't just see paint. You will see the color of the paint, and then you will call the paint by its proper name. If the paint is blue, then you would say, hey, this is blue. Now, that's a higher state of consciousness by recognizing that the paint has a name, and the personality of the paint is to cover things. You see, this is where the white man appeals to your lower self and keep you out of the loop of your higher state of consciousness. See, to you, it's just paint, but that is what your lower self believes. Your higher state of consciousness self understands that that paint has a color and it has a personality. The color of that paint is the name of that paint, and the personality of that paint is to cover. And then you got the other brother on my son. Yeah, my brother, and let me back you up on that. You see, and the wood also has a personality. You see, it's brown in nature, but it can also become the color of the paint. You see, because it works together. It understands unity, my brother. See, if you have a higher state of consciousness, if you're operating with a higher state of consciousness, then you can understand that the paint and the wood can come together in unity and work together as one material. You understand? And brother, let me back you up on that. The paint and the wood coming together to work as one material. Understand what it's going to take for that paint and that wood to actually come together. It's going to take the power of a man, the power of the mind, my brother. The power of the mind is going to bring that paint and that wood together so they can work in harmony and unity to create something that we can use. And by the time they get finished all of that, a week done went by and they ain't built shit. The lemonade stand ain't never got built. The shit just still sitting there. The materials and the resources are still sitting there. Dang, what you think about that?
I think it's funny as heck, and yeah, I can see how you could talk yourself out of not doing nothing, and it'd be aggravating as a black woman if you were supposed to be building a lemonade stand and you're talking about you ain't done nothing yet. I either get fed up and just go ahead and do it myself, or I will keep bothering you about it.
And I forgot. The highest state of consciousness people will also throw in quantum physics. My brother is quantum physics, right?
Okay.
I bet you if you give those materials to Bobby Julie, he would build that lemonade stand because he would want to put his pickup lines on the posters. Ladies, come and get a big glass of lemonade from Bobby Julie, and brothers, put the extra 50 cents in the cup to learn, the greatest pickup lines in the world from Bobby Julie himself. Bobby Julie will build that lemonade stand because he sees an opportunity to sell his pickup lines. So I'd rather have Bobby Julie on my team. Bobby Julie gonna get shit built because he want to sell his pickup line, so he gonna get shit built. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you Bobby Julie will build that lemonade stand. So I'm sick of that whole conscious community thing. It's a bunch of BS. Black people aren't going to get ahead with the conscious community. The conscious community is a BS community that's filled with a bunch of shysters, charlatans, tricksters, land pirates, confident men and women. Doesn't do anything for black people, and it never will. Part 3, okay, basic building tools. Okay. I think that's along the line of what Dane said about the nation building skills. We're going to touch on that. Building tools, tool belts, the simplicity of using tools, acquiring trades. This country was built with tradesmen.
Mm-hmm.
Tradesmen. When you see them iron workers up there, high up in the air, those are tradesmen. Those aren't scholars. Scholars don't build shit. Tradesmen do. Okay? Huh?
Phoenix Jean got a suggestion. He said for part 3, basic building tools.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get on that. I just addressed that. Basic building tools.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to work on the trades next. These are the things that we are solution based. I'm talking about things that we can do now, people.
Mm-hmm.
Not talking about some 10,000 year or some type of. You see, there are people with solutions, right? But they give you, well, black people got to come together. Black people got to come together. Black people got to come together. You see, the more you allow that to occupy your mind, you'll never produce anything. You'll never come together because the type of together that they're talking about, they want a mass number of black people to come together all at one time. You know how long that's going to take and what kind of effort that's going to take? Farrakhan got 1 million plus men, right, together. And somebody tell me, out of that 1 million men, what did they actually produce? I'll tell you what they did. They produced stories about the trip. They can tell you what happened when they got on the bus. They can tell you what they did when they got there. Man, we took pictures and man, there was a bunch of people seeing a whole bunch of black men together and there was no fights. They was accomplished. They was happy with just being there. There was no real accomplishments out of the 1 Million Man March, people. Now, if I'm wrong, come up here and correct me. What did the 1 Million Man March produce? Now, I'm not shitting on the Nation of Islam. I'm telling you, I'm being real. What did it produce? I heard a couple of brothers say that they became better men. I don't know if there was any evidence of that, but that's what they said. So I don't know how you're a better man. You're walking around with a shotgun. But anyway, my thing is, what did the 1 Million Man March produce? That was unity. 1 million black men got together, and what did they produce? Can anybody tell me what did the 1 Million Man March produce? I told you guys before, this world is about production and consumption. You're either producing or you're consuming. Everything in this country, in this world, falls under one or the other. If you are an educator, then you are producing. If you are a student, then you are consuming. It's about production and consumption. So, what did the 1 Million Man March produce? And I'm willing to be corrected. I don't remember producing anything. Now, if it did, please come up here and correct me.
All right. Oh, actually, it was 2 million at the first march, but still, that don't answer the question. Okay, what were they marching for in the first place? Yes, I kind of vaguely remember the 1 Million Man March, but I don't know what they were marching for. I don't know if it was. I think it was some kind of show of solidarity, or men were going to make a turnaround and do the things they haven't been doing, or some kind of nonsense.
Yeah, and again, like I said, I had to get off for a second, but like I said, I want to see. I mean, I don't know. Listen, I'm not shitting on the 1 Million Man March. I thought it was remarkable to get that many men together in one area. But did it produce anything? See, we have to be, as black people, we have to be careful what we do with our people. We don't have the luxury of making mistakes and recovering because we don't have any power. We don't have the luxury of, misusing people on a large scale. Okay? So we have to make good use of the people that we get together in that capacity. So like I said, I'm not shitting on the Million Man March. I just want to know, what did it produce? Did it produce black businesses? Did it produce brothers to go out here and buy land? I mean, what did it produce? And trust me, I'm not shitting on it. I'm willing to. What I'm telling you is, I don't remember and I don't know. I'm ignorant to what the Million Man March produced. I'm telling you that I'm ignorant to it. I don't know. I'm not bad mouthing. I'm just saying I don't know. So if someone wants to come up here and educate me, I'm willing to, listen and learn about what the Million Man March produced. Because I don't remember hearing anything. I can't remember one thing. I think maybe somebody said they started a business. I'm not even sure of that. So I'm not sure what it is that I don't know what's going on. Hey Dane, do you remember what the Million Man March produced?
I didn't know. I asked. Hassan said it was to stop all the violence that was going on in the 90s. Well, I don't think it worked.
Well, that didn't work.
Yeah. In fact, since the Million Man March, have they done? Have they patrolled the communities in their area?
See, people, we have to understand, right? What is real anti-black rhetoric? What is real anti-black? A lot of us don't understand what anti-black is, right? Because we got a lot of posers. We got a lot of people who've captivated your attention, and they're shysters, and you think that they're pro-black. You think they're for black people, and you've gotten to know these people, right? And you think that they really hard charging for black people. So if you say something against them and expose them for who they really are, then people will say that you're anti-black. But that's not really what it's about. You see, finding out what a situation like the Million Man March produces, not being anti-black. You're talking about somebody who gathered over 1 million black men and occupied their attention for a certain period of time. That has to be accounted for. So what did that mass number of black men and all the time they spent doing that event, what did it accomplish? We have to have some type of accomplishment out of a massive movement like that. We can't afford to have a massive movement like that and come away with zero. See, that's not anti-black rhetoric. That's called truth. A massive number of black men was called to one area for a meeting. Precious time was taken from these black men. These black men took time away from their own families to attend this meeting. So that meeting has to produce something. What did it produce? I'm telling you, I'm ignorant. I don't know. So if you know, please educate me. Go ahead, Dane.
Okay. Bro Speak goes, if it did something, it wasn't long-lasting impact. Do you think it added? Hey, son, do you think it added to? No, but not black people as a whole. Oh no, not no.
Let me tell you something. If I get 1 million black men together, you better watch out. I'm not getting no 1 million black men together to sit there and talk. If I'm calling 1 million black men together, you trust me, they're coming with shit. Because I got a plan. They're coming with tool belts. They're coming with materials. They're coming with money. They're coming with influence. They're coming with whatever that they can contribute to the project. And when they get there, We are going off. Ain't nobody talking about none of that. We're building, we're setting up. You're going to see 1 million men working when you get there. If I got 1 million men, we are building a motherfucking town or something. I'm not asking no 1 million men to come to an area just to sit there for a speech. I guarantee you, if I get 1 million men to come somewhere, by the time you get there to see us, we're going to have half a goddamn town already built, and we're going to be working on building the rest. Hospitals, everything. That's what I'm going to have. We're going to be building something. We ain't going to be sitting there listening to no goddamn speech. Okay? I'm going to have 1 million men working, building. We're not coming up there for nothing else. I would call my march the 1 million Black Builders March. That's what I would call mine, the 1 million Black Builders March. Because when we get there, we're going to go to work. Be prepared to go to work. Be prepared. We're going to have hard hats when you get there. We're already going to have a build site. We're going to have architects. We're going to have plan. Everybody going to get a section. We're going to work. We're building a black town. We're doing something. We're not going to sit there talking about some, hey, man, stop the violence. Man, fuck that. You'll stop the violence when you have something that means something to you. That's right. When you build something that means something to you, oh, you'll stop the violence, all right. Like I said, I'm not going to get 1 million people, 1 million Black people in the area just to listen to a conversation, just to listen to me rant and rave about what I think Black men should do. Now, we're going to have instructions. When you get there, we're going to work. It ain't going to be all of this. Yo, I went there and took pictures and shit. You know, when I talked to people that came from the Million Man March, people talked about shaking hands and meeting brothers from all over more than anything else. I don't even know some of them don't even know what the hell Farrakhan even talked about. A lot of them don't even, some dudes I ran into don't even remember Farrakhan being there. Seriously, I ran into brothers. Oh man, Farrakhan was there? Well, yeah, he the one that called the 1 million man. Oh, I didn't even see Farrakhan. Yeah, brothers didn't even know Farrakhan was there.
And there was derelicts there too.
Yeah.
I knew of a guy who used his child support to go to the Million Man March, and was complaining because his ex wouldn't let him take their son with him.
Now here's the thing: if you're gonna make a sacrifice like that, you better make it pay off. You better make it pay off. Yeah. You're gonna do something like that. It has to pay off. Okay. All right, y'all. We getting ready to shut it down. We at that 2-hour mark. Gonna let you get back to enjoying the rest of your Sunday. Then cue up that I Believe. And we're gonna get on out of here. I'm just a day removed from my birthday, y'all. I'm 54 officially now. My first whole day into being 54 years old. I'm enjoying myself. And again, thanks to all of the people with the birthday wishes and the cash apps. I really appreciate it. God bless, bless all you brothers that helped me out on my birthday. I really appreciate that. And so we'll be back with part 3 sometime. I don't know if we're going to do it this week. We might do it next week because this week we're going to be working on Ladies Night all week because we're changing the format of Ladies Night. Okay, so I can't promise you that I'll do a podcast this week because, like I said, Ladies Night is is going over is undergoing an overhaul and a change of format. So we're going to be working on that throughout the week. So probably towards the end of the week I might do a little something, but I don't want to. If I don't have the time to really devote to the show, I won't do the part 3. I might do something else where we just might chop it up on something because when we do parts, because I'm serious about this What Should Black Men Build series. I'm very, very serious about it. Okay, and it's solution based, and we're going to keep talking about solutions. We're going to keep finding solutions. We're going to keep putting suggestions out there on what we can do and do now. I'm not talking about 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 1,000 years from now, 100,000 years from now. I'm talking about right now. Y'all can get off this podcast right now and put $20 or $30 to the side for a land fund. You can do that right now. I've already done it. Sitting here in this truck talking to y'all, I already done it. I got me a Pringles potato chip can that's empty. I just put $30 in it. I got a piece of tape. I wrote land fund on it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I just did it. You can do it too. We can come together with this kind of mentality and we can build. Like I said, our enemy hates our guts, but they'll do business with us. We have to be able to work together despite our differences. So we'll be back with part 3 because, like I said, I'm serious about it. If I can't really devote no serious time to it, I won't do it until I can. But we'll be back with What Should the Black Men Build Part 3, either sometime at the end of the week or maybe next week. Because I'm taking this extremely, extremely seriously. And y'all can join it. Y'all can contribute. If y'all got suggestions, you can put them in the chat or you can email me. You can email Dame with suggestions or what you want to see in the series. Okay? All right, and we'll take the suggestions and we'll work it in and we'll give you credit because this is a collective effort. It's not just me and Dame, it's all of us. We're all in this together, so all of us can contribute. All right? And with that being said, peace, power, and unity. Then you want to say something before we get out of here?
Peace, power, and unity. First step to building.
Well said. Fire up that I believe. Peace, power, and unity, y'all. We'll see you on Ladies Night.